So my mason bees have come alive. We have two couples that are about to mate or have paired up at least. So zoom in a bit here. Male on top with the scruffy face, the female, yeah, she has a little scruff to her too. But anyway, they're doing their thing. This is a Camponotus pennsylvanicus, exploring a crabapple tree I have, which has yet to flower. When it does, the flowers open up red, they turn white. Kinda pretty, but anyway, this tree gets aphids and little caterpillars and things, which is why this ant is on this tree exploring every little nook here and there. They do seem to freeze when there's a cold breeze about. But anyway, nice close-up of one. Fairly large ant, 12 millimeters or so. Lots of hair on the gaster area, which is shining, usually a brown, silver, or white color, and the ant is totally black. And of course, one waist segment. This is, I'm going to say, Trillium cuneatum, which is giving off a very lovely fragrance. It's like oranges or something, like that. And it's growing right next to the little holly bush, which I think is a non-native holly. But second it flowers, it's going to get all its nectar stolen from the little Crematogaster, which I see standing along the ground down here. I haven't really prepared this shot, so I don't know where they're going, but they're little... Yeah, it's actually, I think, most of the one I'm trying to look at. Anyway, next to it we have other trilliums that I've planted. Not sure what this one is. It might be the Hirschia, that one flowers, but we have Trillium luteum here, and then this nice hepatica flower, which is a little drowned out from the sun. There's little blue flowers on it. Very nice plant. This is my ant garden, by the way. Which is, almost every plant here has some relationship to ants, mainly with the seeds being dispersed by them. And this is Ozark Trillium? I forget the species name offhand, but there's a little Temnithrax walking around on the leaf here, if I can get this to adjust. Yeah, but anyway, this is a breeding population of this Trillium that I've gotten here. Even though I'm in New Jersey, it's not technically native, but it's still serving a function in a native way. And it is turning into a breeding population here. Yeah, there's a little Trilliums growing up here. They're growing right next to a Joe Pye weed that comes up later in the year, but, you know, it's a... Still, I'd rather have a Trillium that is native to North America as opposed to a bulb that's native to, you know, somewhere in Europe growing here. Instead, that's a little thing in logic I have here. So last year I staged a ants to disperse seeds for bloodroot and woodland poppy. And this is their nest entrance this year. Whoops. Not sure how to get those out of there, but one of the two is going to try and grow through that hole. Probably both. But anyway. Real fast, I did get tired at some point, and I did plant a bunch of those seeds throughout here, so it's not like I just stuffed a bunch of seeds into a hole or something, but you know, anyway. So, Camponotus pennsylvanicus, sometimes when they head out from the nest, you'll see them going in like a party of 5 or so. Usually there's a major with them, and then 4 workers, but they all stay like within eyeshot of each other. What we're seeing here, though, a ant of some other type had crossed their path as they go out to forage. I don't think this is a line of any sort. I think it's just a foraging party looking for something good. But they all generally stay in the same area of one another, and they kind of head out and just look for food. Now I see now they're kind of going their separate ways, so maybe I'm wrong, but nope, he turned around. That one went that way, then that turned around. You're staying there. Yeah, you think you're lost, so you're heading back. Found your friend. But then this one went all the way over this way. Ambitious little guy. Anyway, Calcinatus pennsylvanicus. These are Tetramorium immigrans. Finally able to say their name. Used to be species E, before that it was Tetramorium caespidium. But this is Tetramorium immigrans. Caespidium was found to be a species complex with, I think it was like 9 species or 7 or something. A bunch of closely related species. You basically needed DNA or extremely careful measurements taken from 30 workers or more. And they are just waking up. And what's more, they do something kind of neat, where in the springtime the nest is all together, but as they get older, or as, not older, as the colony wakes up, they actually form like little foraging trails off to different locations. And these ones are kind of, I think they're moving their entire nest, to be honest, because they are covering quite the distance here. Yeah, they come all the way over here. Probably go a bit farther than this, but I can't crawl that far. One of the things Tetramorium are looking for, because they're a sun-loving species, they hibernate, they incubate their brood. They go after rocks and other types of structures. This colony, I think, overwintered in this location, so they didn't have to go far. There's no noticeable digging or anything around the stone itself. You see a forager or two out here, but no line of ants with piles of soil about. And doing this, they're able to raise brood. I believe it's instead of 5 weeks, they can almost do it in 3. So they're able to shave that much time off of the development of a fellow ant. And the colony grows that much quicker. Especially with this species, they do territorial wars against other colonies, so having access and control over these stones is quite the advantage. Here's a Tetramorium colony that was moving into this log until I flipped it over. In the absence of stones and things, they will nest in wood. Provided it is in full sun, of course, it always helps, and in contact with the soil, which is, I believe, almost always where you find the queen. Not to say she won't venture up, this far, but I don't think it happens too often. But anyway, let them move back in. A crow and a blue jay just attacked one another. I wish I was filming that, but anyway. We are, hear the crow, down here at the rock where our Tetramorium colony is, and here's the little Temnothrax walking around with something in her mandibles. But anyway, pop in and say hello. Alright, what are they there? Oh, I guess I hate to say. Tetramorium ants. Your continued harassment from Tetramorium and myself may lead to this colony's ultimate destruction, or they may move from this particular location. They don't seem to care about one another, though, so that's interesting. Just a mass migration down here to the underside of this stone. And here's something you don't see that often. A it would larval stage to a lightning bug. I guess it's a lightning beetle. But anyway, I'm going to see to this stone so I don't crush too many of these. Alright, seems I missed Philippius in Paris this year, winter ants, but at least I didn't miss Camponotus chromiatus, and likely Camponotus pennsylvanicus too. It is the first day of the year where it is like 90 degrees outside. And just to highlight something, Camponotus chromiatus has a little bit of red to her. Also, there are hairs on the gaster, which I can kind of illuminate, if she would get a nice angle here. But anyway, she's like covered in hairs, with some nice backlighting there. And more red to her. Camponotus pennsylvanicus, probably a little bit of like a sheen of hairs on the gaster area, which is the important part of the ant, queen ant anyway. And they are totally black. But sometimes, I think there's a form of Camponotus pennsylvanicus that has red legs. I've not seen it in New Jersey, though. But anyway, I'm going to go out and do some gardening and hopefully chance upon another queen, because that's what I was doing when I found this one. Oh, it is 4 in the afternoon also, so they likely flew around noontime or maybe a little bit after. I just flipped a log here and found a remains of a worm, as well as some acrobat ants, Crematigaster. Were very interested in it until I lifted it up. They get the name acrobat ants because they raise their gasters up like that and are sometimes seen sort of on 4 legs when they go to sting a intruder. This one's kind of pointing her gaster right at us, though. But if you notice, the waist segments here attach to the gaster on the upper side of it, which allows them the maneuverability that other ants do not have, or to lift their gaster up above their head like a scorpion would. Very good examples of this. Usually, when I'm filming them and agitating them, they'll actually just hold still and freeze, but now they have something to defend. So, alright, Crematigaster. Alright, it is May 3rd, and I cannot believe that Camponotus are flying already. I caught a Castaneus queen, or not Castaneus, Chromiatus queen earlier today, and I know Camponotus nearticus urcaria is also flying. Friends of mine have also found Camponotus americanus males, and this is probably either a Chromiatus or pennsylvanicus male here that we're looking at, but there was just a queen to a one of the smaller species here. But anyway, not a whole lot of activity otherwise compared to the usual, what happens over the summertime at this thing. But we'll see what happens in a little bit. It's just weird that I'm blacklighting this early in the year. Usually I start in, like, June. Alright, that is one of the queens to the smaller species. It just went underneath this pot here, into the groove. But I have multiple species out here flying. See the larger ones there, and now they're crawling on my hand. Ants are pretty active. There's one on the camera too. So there's a smaller male to the other species. The larger one there. So they definitely flew today, of course, but the thing is, our queen's still flying. That's the question. There's one of the smaller males there. Yeah. Unfortunately, I have stuff going on today, so this is going to be basically the end of the video here, so thank you for watching, and goodbye.